What's up, y'all? It is not the top of the morning. However, I still hope you have extended gratitude to the Most High for all the things that He has done, all the things that you do have, and all the things that He is doing in your life. And then, secondly, I hope you're doing your affirmations and telling yourself how much you love yourself, how dope you are, how amazing you are, how fabulous you are, and whatever else it is that you need to tell yourself throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month, throughout the year, to just really feel like the most confident version of yourself. Um, like I said, it is not the top of the morning, but my schedule is starting to shift a little bit. So my workouts are going to be a lot later in the day and not at the top of the morning. So these are probably going to look a little different. I'm going to look a little different. Hopefully I look a little bit better than I do when I'm working out, but I'm not sure. But I have had people hit me up in my DMs and say that they appreciate these motivational moments. So I'm gonna keep putting them out the best that I can as my schedule shifts and changes. But I want to hop on here, talk about seasons and the importance of seasons. So when we think of seasons, the first thing we think about is Earth. The Earth lives on seasons. If you live in a climate where you really see the seasons change, I'm a country girl. I'm from Tennessee. We know what it's like to see the seasons change. It's hot as hell in the summer. It get colder than cold in the winter, and it ain't cold like it is in the Midwest and some other places, but it's still cold. Spring, it kind of do what it want to do, but it's when that cold snap break and it kind of get a little cool out, and then transitioning from summer to fall again. It get a little bipolar on us, but we can still feel that little cool front start to come in as we shift from fall to winter. My bad, phone call came in. But like I said, as we shift from fall to winter, and as we look at the earth seasons, it's a lot that we can learn from that. And I'm just going to talk about what I've learned from it and how I live my life according to these seasons. So I start my new year in March. One of the reasons I do that is um, if you read like in the Bible in the Old Testament, they started their new years and their new seasons in March or April. I'm not sure of the exact month, but it is springtime that they start those new seasons. And then the other thing for me is it made sense that they would do that because it just makes sense to not start your new year in January, where that is a death season. For those of us who see all four seasons, we know January there is no life outside. It's gloomy, it's gray, it get dark early, there's no leaves on the trees, the flowers are not blooming and things like that. So why would we start trying to have new life for ourselves in a season that is just dead? And I believe that all things are one. We are one with God. We are one with each other. We are one with the universe. You get where I'm going with it. So if it's good enough for Mother Earth to start her new year in March, it's good enough for me. And so what I do is I live my life like a farmer. Things that I really want to manifest, I start to plant those seeds in March. These are the things that I want to accomplish and see happen. So I get out. If you pay attention, like you'll see me probably outside a little bit more in spring. I'm connecting and fostering new relationships. I'm starting new projects. I am doing whatever it needs that I need to do to get my crops to manifest by fall, which is harvest season. However, we can't skip summertime. And what farmers do in the summertime is they're constantly protecting their crops from the haters. And for farmers, the haters are insects, the sun, snakes, things like that that can get into their crops and kill their crops. The farmers are constantly protecting their crops through the summertime. So, everybody outside in the summer, I look at it the same way. Like, everybody outside in the summer, shoot, they gonna try to get, what they say, ops trying to snatch my crops. It's the same thing. So, that's what I'm doing in summertime. I'm just nurturing, I'm watering my seeds of the things that I've planted and whatnot. And then that way by fall, it's harvest time. And the cool thing about fall is, and I know I've talked about fall and letting things go and surrendering, and everybody can't go, but I think it's just, I keep harping on it now because we're entering that season. But the cool thing about fall is not only do things fall to the wayside, we see leaves falling off the trees. For farmers, this is the harvest season. We have the harvest moon. We have these harvest and fall festivals, and what farmers do is they go and they get all of their crops, everything that is grown. And it's not that everything that they planted grows to maturation in fall. There are some crops that don't make it through summertime. And I see that in my life. Sometimes I make connections with people in spring. By the time summer hit, I'd be like, nah, that's not a good connection for me. I'm not saying that these are bad people, but they're not pouring into me like I need them to do. They're not offering me what I need them to offer. They're not bringing what I need them to bring to the table. And then sometimes they just might be a regular old hater. They might be talking behind my back or whatever. And it's like, I see you. I see how you're moving, and I got to cut you loose. I got to let you go. But for the most part, in fall, I am getting my crops. I'm seeing the manifestation of the seeds that I planted in spring. And then in winter, that's my planning period. What is it that I want to accomplish next year? What is it that I want to plant by the time spring comes? What do I want to see manifest and things like that? And then the cool thing is, much like farmers or just life in general, all of the crops don't always manifest in that fall. So there are seeds that I planted 5 years ago that are just now starting to grow, and I'm starting to see the fruits of the labor of. And it took 5 years to do that. I planted that seed in spring, but that's like a tree. If you plant the seeds of an apple tree today, that apple tree is not going to be big and full and just giving you apples overnight. And it's probably not going to do that in just one cycle. It's going to take several cycles of seasons to go through for it to grow to the point where it needs to be. And so that's what winter is for me. It's a planning period. It's when I can sit on my crops because I've done all the work from March to pretty much October. I've done all of my work. I have planted my seeds. I have protected my crops. I have harvested my crops. I've stored them away, and now I can kind of take the foot off the gas, and I can rest quite a bit until spring comes and it's time to plant new seeds. It's time to protect my crops even more and get back to it by the time next time fall comes. So I'm gonna leave it at that because this one is a little bit longer than normal, but I wanted to get that out. I wanted to talk about seasons and things like that. I hope it made sense, but as always, be love, be light, be joy, be kind, be peace. Whatever it is that you can do to be the bright spot in somebody else's day. You never know what somebody's going through, and your kindness, your peace, your love, your joy, your patience just might be the one thing that helps start the ripple effect of kindness throughout the earth, throughout the world, throughout the universe, whatever. But yeah, so until next time, I'll holler at y'all. Peace.